Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on youtube.com with me, Stuttering Craig. I like movies that have sand in them. Wow.
He doesn't like it in his mouth.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
I don't like the texture in my mouth.
What? And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, well, let's go, Boss Hog, with the 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Hey. I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's Side Scrollers. Happy Monday to you. Are you having a good day? Are you enjoying it? Man, I got stuff to talk about today, man. So much going on. It's great to see y'all. Boss Hog coming in with the 5 gifted memberships before we got started. That's exciting. Thanks, Boss Hog. Let's stink and go. Speaking of stinking and going, it's Travis Keys. Hello, stinking and going, Travis Keys.
Do I stink? And am I going?
Every time I've smelt you in person with the long, sweet, you always tend to go. It's really weird.
Good morning.
Morning, Trav. How are you? Oh my God. Do you know who I'll never smell ever? Ever? Blabs.
What is this? Start again. This is weird.
Right. Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on youtube.com with me, Stuttering Craig. I like movies that have sand in them. Wow.
He doesn't like it in his mouth.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
I don't like the texture in my mouth.
What? And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Say cheese. Hi guys. Anyway, Craig's weird and talking about smells today, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know why. But I'm here, new and improved. And that's about it. I'm just playing with my new camera. Oh, hang on. There we go. Say cheese. There you go. Got it. Someone said cheese. Metastep said cheese in the chat. Cheers. He's the only person who responds to me. Anyway, Craig, put me back. Happy birthday, Harry Potter, by the way, as you can tell.
Good morning.
Hi.
Is it Harry Potter's birthday?
Yeah,
Like
July
from the book,
31st
or
is his actual birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, in the book and everything. It's based off J.K. Rowling's real birthday.
Yeah, I
If you
forgot
didn't
when
know.
it was. I
The
didn't
more
really
you
pay attention
know.
to it. I knew it was in the summer.
God damn. All right, let's go. Good to see you guys. Welcome on out.
Oh,
Craig.
fancy you here. Wow, what a surprise. The
Craig,
old man.
you
just
smell,
crazy.
dude.
You stink. Now,
Stink.
Hey, can I talk about smelling something real quick? Let me tell you about the old snaz. Let me tell you something. My 9-year-old, my daughter, she gets distracted, right, by all sorts of things. If she's watching TV, she's watching TV, and if you tell her something, she doesn't hear you, right? When she's playing video games and you ask her something, she doesn't even hear it. Yeah, whatever, right? And I'm always like, you need to focus on what you're doing, focus on what's happening. Well, this weekend was a great example of that, as she likes to make these like ramen noodles in the microwave, the type that you like put the water in and it boils and it makes the ramen noodles. Well, this weekend, yesterday, she forgot to put the water in because she was so focused on the TV. And do you know what happens when you put those ramen noodles in the microwave?
Fire or turn black. Turn into
Did it
charcoal.
melt?
Listen, my house reeks of sweet chili oil, like ramen.
No.
It is horrendous.
Wait until one of them boils eggs and
No.
lets it boil until the eggs blow up.
Bad news. But I'll tell you what, she learned a lesson. You know, it allowed me to reinforce the idea of paying attention. And she said, I will never do that again. Well, good. Because now, like, I smell it now. It's horrible. It's horrible. Ugh.
So that's why you're always about smells now.
Today, it's crazy. I had an interesting weekend.
It's time to go bust out the Christmas pie smelling, cookie smelling candles.
You know, I got this for my office. I got a little like air scent thing. Lasts like 30 days. You put in and you can refill it. And I got it for Christmas this past year, and I started using it when the podcast started. And I just put in my last month that I have, and it's all Christmas scents. So it's like
I
Christmas.
love Christmas scents.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Anyways, so look, hey, this weekend I have a very, very big story to tell you guys. Would you guys like to hear it?
I feel like the noodles was already like the big story.
Okay,
What's
fine.
this
I'll
one?
move on.
Is it about smells?
No, it's about
Okay.
yakking. I threw up for the first time this weekend in probably a decade.
Did you eat something bad?
I don't know. You know, here's the thing.
This is all chalk. Do it again. Oh my god, smelling and throwing up.
Was
What
it?
is this?
Wait. Was it after the microwave incident?
No. This is before
Okay.
the microwave incident.
Because I could.
I'm sure
I
the
was
smells
thinking
didn't help.
that could have caused it.
It was bad. Yeah. So I it was funny because I woke up. So my daughter did summer camp this past week. My older one, and so we went to go pick her up this weekend on Saturday, and we had to leave early in the morning, and I had a headache the night before. Woke up in the middle of the night, had a headache that morning. Got up and I was like, hey, I really don't feel like driving.
Migraines can cause you to throw up.
Well, let me tell you something. We're in the car. We're about 30 minutes into our 2-hour drive, right? We're driving out in the middle of nowhere.
Still have a headache?
Still have a headache, and I'm
You're
like,
you're probably a little dehydrated.
Can he tell his story, Travis?
thank you, Blabs.
See, I'm trying to figure out why he threw up.
Well,
God,
we'll get
it's
to
like 20
that.
questions over there.
I know. So I'm over here, like in the passenger seat, feeling pretty horrible. I got the headache going, you know, and I'm like, I think I'm pretty nauseous.
God
I think I'm
forbid. God forbid, Vlad, I interview somebody.
All right, so
Salty Trav.
I know. Salty Trav.
Can
We
we
need
get
a
an
little-
emote of that?
A little
Salty
emote with
Trav.
salt with a little Travis face on it. So I dawns on me, you know, you get that like metallic taste in your mouth before you're about to throw up, right?
No.
That, like, shut up, Labs. You never thrown up before?
Not in a very long time.
Okay, well, you get that feeling in your mouth, right? That taste in your mouth, and you're like, oh no, it's coming. And I take off my hat, and I'm like, oh, here it comes.
Oh,
And
no!
I throw up. You notice I'm not wearing my burgundy hat with the RR on it. That's the Frisco Rough Riders hat. It's because I yacked in it on the way to
No,
summer
no.
camp.
Stop it. I'm going to be sick. Legit. You can't do this. Mm-mm.
I took off my hat.
No, no. Is it okay? Can I come back?
What is it about people?
Hello?
Yes, you're good. Labs.
Now, I will say, next time I am not on the show, remember how that felt, and that's what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, Trav, it's okay if you word vomit every once in a while. All right. Anyways, look, we got a lot to talk about today.
We move on.
Yeah, we're moving on, Blabs. That's what I say. We have a lot to talk about today. I am implying that we're moving on away from my throw up story.
Thank you.
By the way, the metallic taste is your body lubricating your throat and getting your body ready for all that to come up. Just so you're aware.
Cool.
Fascinating stuff right there. Nice.
Ah,
What
stop it. I want to spray you with a water bottle next time I see you. No.
is it about people with that sound? Some people, like, they can't handle that sound. It's really
No,
weird.
dude, my nephew, anytime he he does some weird shit, you know, babies are gross. I'm like, nope, like he spits up his food. Oh no. I leave. I run. I'm like, bye, have a great time. See you guys next time.
You're gonna be a great mom.
Yeah. I can't handle it. Like for example, if my friends were throwing up back in college from over drinking, right? I couldn't hold their hair. I would run away. I'd be like, somebody help her! I can't, because or else I'd throw up on top of her. And
I
it'd just be a mess.
had a random sorority girl throw up in my lap at a
Ew.
party.
Okay, let's move on.
And I didn't even know who the fuck she was. So that'll
Those
tell you
things-
just a little bit about what my life.
Can we move on?
Was this at the porn store or not in the porn store?
No.
Okay, just making sure. All right, look. So look, we were going to talk Barbie today because I'm intrigued by this. I have not seen Barbie, and you know the one thing I've noticed online when it comes to Barbie is there's a lot of people complaining about Barbie who have never seen Barbie,
Oh yeah.
and I haven't seen Barbie. So, but I'm intrigued by what's happening with Barbie. It's a cultural thing. You know, this happens very rarely, and there's always talk about movies being dead and the theaters being dead and why Disney movies haven't worked and blah, blah, blah. So I thought we'd talk about that today a little bit.
As with anything, if you want to be mad about a premise of something, that's all right. But at least go see it before you start bitching.
Oh, that's not how things work, Travis. You know that. We're going to be talking about a previously unreleased toy related to video game industry, which today there's no way that would fly. It's coming up in just a minute. People are upset on the internet, Blabs, over Hugh Grant being an Oompa Loompa.
I'm not upset about it.
Well, I'm just saying people in general.
Oh, you're like Blabs. I was like, I'm okay with Hugh
mean,
Grant being a midget. That's fine.
No,
I get the idea of wanting little people to get the jobs and all that, but like, what are you going to find, an orange person?
Well, I don't know. We'll talk about it here in a little bit, won't we, Trav? Twitter is also in an intense lawsuit, and it's very intriguing to hear who they're suing. So we'll talk about that, as well as the racist Lando showrunner is out from being Lando, and we're going to read you that a little bit later on. He found out over the internet, and it's pretty funny, as well as some secrets being leaked about the Xbox and the PlayStation, which will all be revealed very shortly. I would like to remind everybody, we have this is going to be the last week that we are going to be doing our gameplay stuff on this channel. Over the weekend, I rebranded it originally was the Craig Talks News channel. Then I turned it over to the Side Scrollers Clips channel, which I didn't post any clips over there. It was just kind of like there to have. And now it's called Side Scrollers Plays. And you can find this channel. It's at youtube.com/@sidescrollersplays. You're going to notice we're going to be doing some things with our logos here. You can see the branding up here. So it's the purple logo with the video game controller, right? And we're going to be doing.
The link is in the chat and the Discord, so click on it.
Yep. So go in there and subscribe to that if you guys are into watching our gameplay stuff, which happens in the afternoon after the show. So we wanted to give this podcast the best opportunity to be successful, and if we need other channels for other things, we'll gladly do that. Let's say maybe eventually we'll have Side Scrollers Cooks
Again,
and we'll just make fun of people on the internet.
the link is in the chats, all of them, and the Discord.
What was
Let's
that,
go.
Travis? Links in the chat.
And the Discord.
Let's go. All right, great. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate that. If you guys haven't yet, please subscribe over there. And of course,
By the way, we did reach out to Paula Dean, just for clarification. And it was mentioned that if she would like to do a cooking show rather than questions, that would be lovely. So
thank you. Travis, what does that have to do with anything we were just talking about?
well, you were just talking about a cooking show.
Okay.
Yeah. So we may have a cooking show with Paula Dean.
No, don't put that out there. We're not having a call. We will not. Not right now. We will not have a cooking show with Paula Dean.
You just want to call it Call Dean. Anyone else notice that? It's twice.
Colander Queen.
Colin Dean. Let's go. So I'll be returning to Super Mario Galaxy today as the Mario Funathon continues. As we are 3 months into this bad boy, it's insane. I expected it to last 2 weeks, and now we're on 3 months, which is great. As well as this Thursday, we will have a very big show. Hopefully, you guys are here for it. We're going to be doing our Star Wars Roundtable. which I'm really looking forward to this. Blabs, who is going to be on the Star Wars Roundtable?
Right. So I just reached out to 2 of our Disney people yesterday. I've not heard back from them, so I won't say their names yet, but confirmed we got Raging Rhino, Open Airlock Policy, Epic Mike, Anna, that's Star Wars Girl, Benology, and Travis, who might be our also pro-Disney person if we have one slot still left to fill.
There you go. So we're looking at 10 total people, including myself and Blabs, on this panel. It's going to be really, really fun. And we're going to talk about the state of Star Wars. And that'll be, so we're going to have people from the pro side and the detractor side. And we're hoping for civil conversation and a roundtable discussion. And it should be really good. We're gonna see how it goes. If it works, we'll continue to spawn it off and do other things. Also, this should be fun. Should be fun.
Henry Davis said, did Harrison Ford also reject his invite to the show?
Yes, he did.
Sadly.
I didn't get a hold of him.
It's because of what we were saying about Indiana Jones.
Well, to be fair, Harrison Ford doesn't actually know anything about Star Wars anyway, so.
He said, yes, he would love to come on for Craig, but the rest of us.
He doesn't know jack shit about Star Wars. He'll be like, what's a Force Ghost? So, it's fine.
Lord, I swear, there'll be a day soon where I'm able to get through everything we need to talk about before we just start taking deviant side quests and as we go along.
We're going on an adventure.
So look, also this Friday we're going to try something which I'm actually really excited about, and I get asked about this every once in a while because I did this for a short amount of time. But on Friday we're going to bring back the call-in show. And we're going to talk about things in gaming and entertainment and all sorts of stuff, or whatever you want to talk about. And we are going to allow, and we realize we have not done a very good, we haven't had the opportunity to really feed our patrons some stuff because with the Mario Fun-a-thon, since the Mario Fun-a-thon started, it's really, devoured the post show. So on Friday, we're going to bring back the call-in show. And we're going to allow our patrons an opportunity to call in. We're going to provide you guys with a special link and allow you guys an opportunity to be a part of the show. And we'll do like a pre-screen process and that whole fun stuff as well. But we also realize that things can get a little salty when it comes to a call-in show. So we're going to start the show over on YouTube. We're going to finish the show over on Rumble when the call-in portion starts, because we can say things on Rumble that we can't say over here on YouTube. So if you guys wouldn't mind, head over to rumble.com/sidescrollers and hit the follow button over there. So the call-in show, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. And
will the show be about the same length still, or will?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. If there's gold there, I do not want to stop because of a time. Right. I'll go as long as things are awesome. Right. So,
yep.
So yeah, it should be fun. Thickness Bat says, is there a Rumble link to the gameplay channel? So here's the thing about that. We know we're kind of doing all sorts of different things. Right now, we're going to keep everything on rumble.com/sidescrollers. It's a singular place. We may later have a sidescrollers, plays channel on Rumble, but not right now. We're going to keep it all in one centralized place on Rumble. So there you go. Got it? Good.
Yeah.
All right. Good old G1 Shiny King. Great to see you. Came in at the $10 direct donation. Says, I'm a gram of caffeine and 20 hours into a 30-hour day. Oh, jeez, that's crazy. Here's hoping my heart doesn't pop. Shiny King, be careful. That 30-hour day is actually technically more than one day. Just want to point that out. So just be careful with that crazy workload.
And I'm kind of wondering, like, you've been awake for 30 hours or you're working for that long.
That's not even legal. You can't do that.
Like even with as much maxing overtime, you can't work that long.
Yeah. So there's confusion in the chat.
Unless it's your business.
About what I said. It is a call-in show. CALL space IN, giving you the opportunity to call in and chat with us.
It says Texas accent. Ignore him. It's just
call in.
They thought Colin was coming back.
Yeah, they're like, Colin? Wasn't he last week?
I'd love to have Colin back on.
That's great.
Yeah, have Colin.
My boy Gom came in with a tier 1 sub for 36 months, 39 total months. Come here, my boy. And some dumb one also resubscribed over on Twitch for 27 months with Prime. That's amazing. Says, thanks for the entertainment. Let's go, some dumb one. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Here we go. All right. You guys got anything before we move on?
Yes.
Hi.
Little man said, do we, little man, whatever, said, do we need a Discord to call in?
No.
Okay.
No, you do not. We're going to do it all through StreamYard. Very easy, very simple. But we may do some pre-screening on Discord. So just heads up. That's where Travis's producer role is going to come into play.
So you probably got a better chance of getting in on Discord.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. Let's get on it. It's time for my favorite segment. Your favorite segment. Everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news.
This is hard news.
Okay. Here we go. We are heading over to the BBC. Blaz, what's the BBC mean to you?
The British Broadcast Corporation.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very good. Travis, what's the BBC mean to you?
Let's keep moving.
What's it supposed to mean?
So there's a new movie called Wonka coming out. Blaz just
Back?
Hold on. I want Blaz to Google this. Hold on.
Should I go in private mode for this? Okay. Define BBC. British Broadcasting Corporation. No way! Does it actually mean big black? No! No way! Look at Travis. He's like, oh, I know the T.
Oh, that's
Wow!
awesome.
The more you know.
All right.
I was thinking of something backdoor or something. I don't know.
Oh, you're so sweet, Blabs.
There is also another definition for it too.
No, we're not going to worry about that, though.
I like you mean the movies. Big, beautiful chickens.
There you go. What's the other definition, Trav? Go ahead.
Bareback top.
Sounds good. So let's go to the news version of that. The British Broadcasting Company, as they're talking about the new Wonka movie, the prequel to Willy Wonka. That, of course, you have to take things and now do origin stories and all that fun stuff. But they're making a new Wonka movie about how Willy Wonka started his candy factory. And there's a trailer that was released about it a couple weeks ago. And it was like, oh, it seems pretty fun. And then the internet saw the Oompa Loompa.
Mm.
The Oompa Loompa played by Hugh Grant right there, ready to
I
rock.
think it's adorable.
And wouldn't you know it, people are upset about Hugh Grant playing the Oompa Loompa. So here we are. An actor with dwarfism, it's a singular actor with dwarfism, has criticized the makers of the new Wonka film for giving the role of an Oompa Loompa to Hugh Grant. So there we go. And this is one of those things. Yes, Travis.
Maybe I'm not bothered by it because I'm not a little person and it doesn't relate to me. But it's like, to be honest, any little person can get any full-size person's role as long as there's not physicality to it, in my mind. Now, that may not be the case in Hollywood, but in my mind, any little person, as long as you don't have to pick somebody up or, you know what I'm saying, do something they physically cannot do, they should be able to get any normal role, right?
Well, no, so here's the thing. If they're going to shit all over the stuff for Snow White and Disney and say, you can't use the dwarfs, blah, 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 then that rule should apply to all the films, right? If that's the way they want to play it.
Well,
anyone can play it. And let's be honest, the Hugh Grant has green hair and he's orange. Or like the SJWs who live in the basements of the land whales and all that with the green hair gonna riot because they're not Oompa Loompa anymore?
Well, let's just be real. There is only one orange man that I know. And should he be playing the Oompa Loompa?
Yes. Well, you know, if he did and they did that, that movie would make a shit ton.
That would make the highest grossing movie of all time.
It would. Seriously. People would
Save
go see
Hollywood.
it just for that.
It's so funny. Shirley says Trumpa Loompa. Oh my gosh. Charlie wants to know. He says it's a cartoon character. Why all the manufactured outrage? I don't. Here's the thing.
Exactly. Well, if you look at the BBC article, it explains the original characteristics of an Oompa Loompa. I believe it's at the very bottom.
Yeah,
Of course, they wait for the bottom.
Where it's about Royal Dog. It's like it says what it's about.
I'm trying to keep my mind open about it and try and put myself through their perspective. But like, even with like the Wizard of Oz, which was the most little people ever in one production, they used children too. So it's not like it was all little people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yes, I guess there could be an argument to be made that they're taking jobs, but again, as I say, I did see somebody say little people wouldn't be chosen for normal roles due to camera angles, but there's ways around that. And I think if you're a good enough actor, such as the guy who was on Game of Thrones, he's had a lot of roles. He played
Peter Dinklage?
Yes, he played a giant in
Avengers, Avengers 3.
Like, come on. If you're a good enough actor, they will give you the role and work around that.
Well, now, these characteristics aren't even correct to the original depiction, which says a black African pygmies.
That's right. The original novel, which I've never read, by the way.
Which they tried. If you look, they tried to do that more with the other one, where they used the Indian guy. He was Indian, but they tried to match that mold a little more with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So look, people are upset, and I'm sorry that's just the internet. That's the way it's going to be. And we have a 2-tiered system of dwarfs and no dwarfs, or little people. I don't know. It's dwarfs, whatever. But I actually am kind of intrigued by the movie, and I'll be interested to see if the dwarf community will be so upset that they will boycott it. And if they'll also be boycotting the Snow White film for the lack of dwarfs in that are taking the reins of the dwarf characters in Snow White.
Maybe I'm being insensitive, but the thing that I thought about when I watched that trailer wasn't that, whoa, Hugh Grant's playing. I thought it was funny.
It's for comedy.
But my first thought was, I love Timothée Chalamet, but he should not be playing Willy Wonka.
Hey, I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules, Trav. Like, just because you don't like him doesn't mean somebody else doesn't. I don't know. But
well, I love him. I just don't think he fits that role.
To me, the trailer kind of looked like a remake of the 2005 one, and I got bored with the 2005 one with Johnny Depp. It was everywhere, man. Every single weekend they were playing that movie.
Dude, I think he is the most, like, that version of Willy Wonka is the most annoying version of
Johnny
Willy
Depp?
Wonka. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I do not like the movie. I can't.
I actually think we're going to see more of this with Timothée Chalamet. I think he's going to play a closer version to depths than he will the original, but we'll see.
Let's move on. So I found this story kind of amazing. All right. And I'm going to read the headline, and then I'm going to read the quote. Okay. And then we're going to play a game. Okay. We're going to play a game after it. Original Lando, which is a spin-off show for Disney Plus, Lando. The showrunner for the show Lando found out he was replaced on social media. So the original Lando showrunner was this guy named Justin Simeon, and he wasn't told he's being replaced, and he found out on social media, and he put a post out. And I'm going to read you this post, okay? It says, "This is me right now. Donald," and he was replaced by Donald Glover and his brother Steven, as they're going to take over as the writers for the series, okay? So he says, "This is me right now. Donald is a national treasure. Glad he and Steven get to carry the character forward their way. Can't wait to see it. Rooting for everyone white." Okay, so that's what he said. Is that racist?
Yep.
Of course.
Except he didn't say that. Actually, what he said was rooting for everybody Mexican.
Nope.
Is that racist?
Yep.
I mean,
actually, no, that's not what he said. Donald is a national treasure. Glad he and Steven get to carry the character forward their way. Can't wait to see it. Rooting for everyone black.
I mean, if you go by the standards that are set by the people who make up these rules, these cancel culture rules, and what's racist and what's not, and all that shit, then yes, it is super racist and all that. But I think saying that he's rooting for one culture doesn't immediately put down the other cultures. I know that there's a connotation to that, and means you want them to do better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of, I don't know. It's
you would be right if it wasn't for the fact that if someone had gone, say, rooting for everybody white, they wouldn't be fired and like rocked, thrown rocks at and everything. Like they would be canceled to infinity and beyond. Then you'd be okay with it. But no, because one race can't say it, so none of them can say it, is how I say it.
Well, and I think that's my issue. I think because if you flip it, it doesn't work, and somebody would literally lose their livelihood and be deemed something.
Because he could have just said rooting for everyone, and that's it.
Right.
Or just say rooting for everyone who has passion for the project, who loves the project, who wants this thing to succeed and be successful. That's all he has to say. But no, he's got to bring race into it for some ungodly reason.
Or he could have even said it this way: I love seeing my fellow African Americans do well. That doesn't put any connotation on other people. That's not wishing them to do better than anybody else. It's just, I like seeing them do well.
Well, you don't have to bring race into it.
You don't,
we're trying to get past the whole point of race, right? So why would we want to keep throwing it out there that he's black? Why? Who cares? No one gives.
You don't, but if he was going to say it, there's a better way to say it without making that double speak. And
then, like, on one hand, you do kind of feel bad for the guy. He kind of got Gina Carano'd. Why did Disney actors and writers keep getting the whole social media firing treatment?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure what to make of this. I'm not sure if it's racist. I think it is.
Yeah, it's racist.
Only because it depends on how it's taken. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
if you're black, it might not seem racist to you.
Okay, so you know what? If a white guy, once again, or a Mexican guy, or an Asian woman said the exact same thing, and Travis, going by what you just said, if somebody else deems it racist, is it racist? Right.
That's a good question.
So
intent matters, and I think with racism, intent always matters. You can be accidentally racist and say racist things and not have the intent for it to be racist. You know what I'm saying? Old people do it all the time.
Right. But this guy's, 20-something, 30-something.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. By him saying, he's rooting for the whole of anybody black, even if they're bad, basically, is what he said. Because what were his exact words?
Rooting for everybody black.
Right. So even bad people? Even criminals?
Yeah, he is.
You see what I'm saying? So that's when, to me, it hits the line. Like you're because you want all of this race, even the bad people, to do better. You see what I'm saying? So clearly,
I think he's just a racist piece of shit who only sees race before talent, integrity, and morals.
Now, had he said it a little differently, I would have questioned a little bit more, but clearly his intent, how he said it, means I hope that this entire race does better than everybody else.
So I saw it was probably 6 months ago, maybe a little longer. I saw this study, and I was trying to find it, but I can't find it. But the long and short of the study was they polled, and I take polls with a grain of salt, right? But it was interesting to kind of see what they polled. They polled different ethnicities, and based off of the amount of pride that they felt based off of their ethnicity, whether it was Asian, African, European, whatever, right? And so it was like white people, they took it was 17% of white people felt some sort of kinship to their race, right? By the way, I think this whole race thing is stupid as shit. Like, I think the idea of like, well, you're black, so that's your race. You're Mexican, that's your race. You're white, I think that's all stupid as shit, right? It's like, let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying, Travis.
Yeah, sorry.
I think that we are put into boxes, right? I have like this idea that this is how you should think because you are a white person. This is how you should think because you are Mexican. This is how you should think because you are Scandinavian or African, or pick whatever, black, white, Asian, whatever race. I think that's all stupid as shit, right? It's stupid as shit. But what they found in this study was a very low amount of white people felt some sort of kinship to their race, and Asians were it was like 40%, 30 to 40% felt some sort of like kinship. It may have been closer to like 50%. But when it came to like African American people, it was like 80% felt some sort of kinship to their race, right? So I go back to that study every time I see something like this, because for me, it's like, race is stupid as shit, right? Like it's stupid. I can't stress that enough. I people who say like who go out of their way to see people by the color of their skin are disgusting to me. And
did that poll use the term pride specifically?
I don't remember the exact term,
because that rang a bell in my head, and I'll tell you why. If they did use that term, the whole poll is skewed, and I'll explain. The term white pride is clearly associated with something else throughout history.
Sure.
So when you immediately use that word, white people will immediately say no.
Right.
Because that's their first thought. White pride, what's that mean?
Right, right. Yeah, it has negative connotations,
right,
for sure.
Right. So the whole poll to me is it starts looking at the whole situation from an angle that will get the answer that they want. Right.
As Big Grease says, I feel like the term white might be too vague in context. I'm not really proud of being white, but I'm proud of being Irish. Right. So that's actually a really interesting way of looking at it, right? There are Polish and Irish and whatever. Pick any country that you're from. People identify as or they have kinship towards or some sort of relationship with their heritage, right?
Well, and I identify with that more because and here's where the pride thing comes in for me, and this is the other side of using that word pride, and I have this view from being gay. When you have to go through a struggle for something, it makes you more prideful of who you are because you went through that struggle, right? And Irish people, Irish Catholics specifically, went through a lot of shit, like not so long ago. Like when Kennedy, they didn't even want to elect Kennedy because he was a Catholic, okay? So like you couldn't even be president if you were a fucking Catholic. You know what I'm saying? So that's why that type of pride to me makes sense. But
agreed.
Like I said, that use of the word pride in the context of that, of saying white pride, do you know what I'm saying? Do you associate with your whiteness, but if you said Irish pride or Catholic pride or Polish pride, that then would get a different answer from white people, I think.
So Williams is right. He says, I think this conversation is missing a black voice. And I actually agree. I would love to have that. I would love to have that conversation. Maybe that's like a roundtable discussion later.
Vlog's going to be on with Adam this week. Maybe
there you go. Maybe we can do that. But yeah, I think that's like interesting. It's an interesting conversation. But anyways, it goes back to like this. Circling back to the story. The original idea of like the Lando showrunner going out and like I just imagine, Frank Smith getting fired from his show running and saying the exact same thing, flipping it, and he would never work again, ever. So
that's where these issues get complex and confusing. Because what is right? What is moral?
And like to be clear, I think that it's very cool for people to love their heritage, right? Irish people, Jewish people, whatever, Polish people, pick any sort of heritage that you come from, Native American people, whatever. I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
And
And
to-
embrace that heritage, you know.
To want them to do well, wonderful. But when you say it the way he said it, it has that double meaning of he wants them to do well better than other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and hit some super chats real quick because you guys have been very generous today, and I greatly appreciate that. As Henry Davis came in with the $50 direct donation, Blabs. Go get it, Blabs. Go!
Balls! 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 Balls!
So shout out to the crew. Really nothing else other than thank you. Henry, thank you, man. That is incredibly generous. Let's go with that. I really appreciate that, Henry. Darian came in with the 199, says Blabs is epic. And Blabs also knows what BBC means now.
Yeah, big British.
Samurai Knight came in and says, I thought it was banging and Borden Comics.
That's the real BBC.
I never thought of that. What if it is Big British Cock?
I put them together. British Broadcasting Corporation, Big British.
You can say the word, Blabs.
No, I can't. Rooster.
Not on YouTube. Darian says 100% it's racist. Thank you so much, Darian. Appreciate that.
You do. It does mean a chicken. So Big British Chicken is
No,
what
I don't like
saying.
the COCK. If we're gonna say it, just say dick.
Okay. As Real Dark Hour says, these folks got fired because they didn't give Bob Iger their OF photos. Their OF.
Oh, snap. OnlyFans.
Oh, there you go.
He liked something today. Look at that.
Hey,
The Padawan has become the master.
Is that true?
No. That's not
Oh, Trav.
I was gonna say.
Kyle came in and says, race is awesome. Race is basically environmental pressure, and it's unique. I use race only when it comes finding a mate. I love the differences. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. And like, look, I know someone's going to take that clip and be like, Craig thinks race is stupid, right? I think that there are definitely some unique, there's the unique characteristics to all races, right? That's what makes us all different. But I think it's one of those things that if your race is how you identify, you're pretty boring.
Isn't that what culture is? The differences between us because of our race and stuff?
Like embrace your culture, right? Like I love the idea that, there's America is this crazy melting pot of all these different cultures that somehow have worked over the last, 300 years or so.
That's why that cultural appropriation shit is so fucking stupid. Because if you want to talk cultural appropriation, all of America is cultural appropriation.
Right. Of course. All right, you guys want to move on to Barbie and Oppenheimer, Xbox and PlayStation secrets, or Twitter threatening to sue?
What is this Twitter threatening to sue? I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm tired of Twitter, but go ahead.
Right. And Blue Shell is right. Where's Blue Shell? It says culture is meant to be shared. To be honest, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and we are where culture and race are different, but culture comes from race and geographic location. We're not stupid.
Connerly says, and why are we just talking politics now? We're not. Look, we're going to talk about Barbie and Xbox and PlayStation and all this.
None of that was political. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I know. When race becomes whatever. All right. We'll get into the other stuff in a second. Let's talk Twitter here. This is interesting. This goes back to I'm fascinated by stories like this when I see headlines. Okay, Twitter. Okay, so obviously Elon Musk bought Twitter. Now it's called X or whatever it's called, right? Which, by the way, just from I think that what the idea of what Elon Musk is throwing down with Twitter is this, free speech idea, the place that you can say what you want and not be crucified for it. It's very valuable, right? I think anybody should be able to say things because ultimately what will happen is if your horrible ideas will get thrown to the wayside and the good ideas are elevated to the top, right? I think it's a very, very simple idea. And that's the idea behind free speech. But some people are really upset about what Elon Musk is doing, right? And Twitter has threatened to sue an anti-hate group over its research. Okay, so this is I went through and I was reading this, and I thought this was pretty fascinating to go. So the organization claims Elon Musk is using intimidation tactics. Okay, so Twitter may take legal action against one of its more outspoken critics, the Center for Countering Digital Hate. Which, did you know this existed?
No.
No.
Nobody did, right? So they put together a letter, and they threatened that X threatened a lawsuit against the anti-hate group on July 20th for allegedly making false or misleading claims against the social media giant and trying to scare advertisers. The center published a research article in June asserting that X allowed explicitly racist and homophobic posts despite policies to the contrary, even days after they'd been reported. X accused the Center for Countering Digital Hate of using poor methodology and not studying the 500 million posts on the service each day. It also maintained, which that's impossible, by the way. It also maintained that the center was taking funding from competitors or foreign governments as part of an quote ulterior agenda to the New York, according to the New York Times.
Yeah, if they're taking money from their competitors, fuck them. What they have to say doesn't matter.
So the Center for Countering Digital Hate rejects all allegations. It notes that it never claimed to be conducting a comprehensive study and points to its documented methodology. It adds that X never said just what was. It adds that X never said just what was inaccurate, and that it doesn't accept any funding from companies or governments.
So they didn't do a comprehensive study, but they want to talk like it's fact.
Right.
Are you fucking stupid?
This isn't going to go anywhere, this lawsuit. It's going to be like, ha ha ha, in the bin.
Right. But what it does do is it creates headlines.
And and it's already been ruled on, like, I think it was like 8 years ago, that that they are not liable for what other people post on their comment on their website, because you can't control that many people.
So I went to the website for the Center of Countering Digital Hate, and I wanted to do a little research on it to see to learn more about this center, which I would imagine has a physical location.
Well,
right?
Also, let me say this as a gay man, right? What I view, and clearly this is if we look back at the Melanie situation with Rich and all that, what I view as homophobic is far, far different than what somebody else views as homophobic.
Yeah, so how can you is there like an actual definition of what is homophobic and what isn't?
Right.
And this lawsuit?
That's my issue. So who's to decide what's homophobic?
Who's God, basically, in this?
So this is a really interesting and scary, honestly. This is I see this as very like the thumb kind of pressing down and applying the pressure, type of thing. So this is what they do. Our work, online hate. Social media platforms have become safe spaces for abuse and harmful content, making them potentially hostile environments for normal users. Hate not only denies those being abused the ability to freely express themselves online, it can lead to substantial direct offline harm and violence. So they have these different areas here, right? And incels inside the metaverse, misogyny.
So they have
this whole thing about misinformation and disinformation here, based around, this is very slanted.
Yeah, they even said they didn't do a comprehensive study. So did they point to even one example of a tweet leading to somebody being attacked? Because if they can't point to one example, then their study's bullshit. You can't claim that there's violence towards somebody from tweets. Tweets lead to this violence if you can't point to one. I'm not asking for a comprehensive study, which you should do if you're going to claim that. I'm asking for one.
Okay,
out of 500 million.
So here is this is their study that they did, and I've actually pulled this up because I thought it'd be, it's important to do this, right? If we're gonna be talking about it, you got to at least know about it. So Twitter fails to act on 99% of Twitter Blue accounts tweeting hate, right? New research shows that Twitter fails to act on 99% of hate posted by Twitter Blue subscribers, suggesting the platform is allowing them to break the rules.
Who decides what hate is?
Right. Okay, so here we go. Twitter failed to act on tweets containing racist, homophobic. I can't even say these words on YouTube, right? Which is crazy. Or conspiracy content posted in the last month, including tweets that claim, and I'll let you guys read these, right? Right.
Yeah,
So,
that's all horrible shit.
right.
I'm not saying it's not horrible shit. I'm saying it's all said before online.
Right.
And it didn't. Nobody said
You
that.
hear that in a Call of Duty lobby.
Of
Right.
course. So,
you hear that people yelling that down the street if you walk in certain areas.
Oh. Okay. So we're right, exactly. You're 100% right, Travis. Right. So the idea of this like Center for Disease for the Center for Countering Digital Hate. Number one, I'm curious. Like, do they have a physical location? I can't find a physical location online for these people. Right.
They probably don't. It makes me wonder. I bet you that might have been something started during COVID.
Oh, I'm 100%. Definitely. Definitely.
And you know, like I said, that's all hateful shit. And I'm not going to make excuses for anybody that said that stuff. But people are crazy. We're all well aware of this. Crazy people say crazy shit. It's their right to say crazy shit. Okay? So what we're going to say, well, only certain people can have their rights. Yes, because I'm offended by what they said. Well, I can be offended by fucking anything. I'm
Right.
offended by your hat, Blabs.
Good.
I'm offended by
It
your
says
hat,
Hogwarts.
Craig. You know what I'm saying? I choose what I want to be offended by.
So I actually pulled up this is the head guy, the guy who runs the chief. He's the CEO of the Center for Countering Digital Hate. I'll give you one guess as to where he works, the city that he works.
San Francisco.
Trav?
LA.
Washington, D.C.
Oh. It was going to be one of those, you know?
Right.
Yeah, so they're a lobbyist group.
That's surely what it sounds like. You know, I don't think you know, I don't know. It's crazy. Look, there's so much to this. And I don't, when you see a headline that says something to the effect of Twitter threatens to sue anti-hate group over its research.
Right.
It's
And
all framing.
let's think about this. So Twitter made the claim that they got funded by their competition. Well, if they're a lobbyist group, they don't have to report where their money came from. So Twitter very well may be right that they got their money from the competition.
So he works, what's interesting is he works in Washington. This is even more as we do a little live research here as we go. He works in Washington, D.C. Guess where the Center for Countering Digital Hate is?
China?
London.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is in London, right?
Oh,
With-
and now
okay. Which
not
with the-
only do they not have to follow our laws anymore, you see what I'm saying?
Of course, right? With a totally different set of
Yeah, so they're lobbyists from overseas.
right. Interesting to say the least.
So how, even if we wanted to find out where their money was coming from, we couldn't. Weird.
So we have this guy who is the background, the guy here. He is people were asking about his background, right? And what's interesting about this guy is he is here's his LinkedIn page, Imran Ahmed, right? And he is the CEO of this company. And his background is only this. This is it. This is the only thing he's done. He went to Cambridge.
So he started it while he was in Cambridge, probably.
So he's the CEO of this thing, which is amazing. So I don't know, like this whole thing. Look, I'm not saying that there aren't things that are said that are horrible on Twitter, right? We all see them. We all have experienced them, right? We all think they're stupid. But the idea that you know, on a platform that allows you to say what you want to say, you're going to see that stuff. You're going to see it. It's just the way it is.
Well, and yes, Twitter is a company, right? So they can stop people from saying certain things. But they even say that unless it's like meets this, and this, it's like we can't police everybody. Even people are still going to break the rules that they set, and they're not going to be able to stop them. Why? Because it's just so many fucking people.
Well, of course not.
You know, even to get around, say, like keywords are banned on YouTube from our chat and stuff. I could just spell it differently.
Right. Well, you know, what's amazing is I actually was in a call this weekend. I have these calls every month or so, and actually this is the first one I've been on, but with a bunch of other YouTube creators, and we talk about the space in general. We talk about you know, how things have been the last month. It's like it's like a group of people to get together and we talk about everything that we've learned. And one of the gentlemen was talking about the words that you can't say that will definitely. I was talking specifically about how pretty much every single one of our episodes, our podcasts, our live streams, they have been flagged. They've been hit with the yellow $, right? Which throttles discovery. It doesn't allow for it doesn't allow for monetization.
It'd be one thing if they just demonetized it, but the whole making it undiscoverable shit,
right?
That's horrible.
So, anyways, like there's all sorts of words that we can't say, right? One of those words, and this is going to get our thing is our I actually already said it, but is our former president, right? You can't even say his name because his name is deemed too controversial.
Really?
Yes.
So if
That's
we
so
say
sad.
his name, they will yell it. Well, and I said cock, even though I'm referring to a chicken. You know what I'm saying? We'll get demonetized.
A big black one.
Right.
But you see what I'm saying? There's multiple meanings to different words, and people will get around this stuff. We're just honest, right? So we say our opinion, we get demonetized. But if somebody wanted to get around those rules, it's very easy to do so.
And also, I think also because everything's in text, where you can decipher something wrong as compared to what someone's actually saying to you, like in what tone that they're using.
Yeah, and
that
that's
all affects everything too.
You're 100% right, Blabs. How many of these texts or these tweets or whatever were taken out of context or were jokes or that somebody said, well, that's hateful. Well, it was a joke. It may have been a bad joke.
Didn't Az get you guys know Az heel versus Babyface? He got banned off of Twitter for quoting Game of Thrones, and he said, was it all men must die or something like that? And
Really?
he got banned off of Twitter, like suspended. He quoted Game of Thrones. It was just a quote.
Well, and this is a good example of how if we were try to do what that study wanted. Do you know how many people would get banned or censored or just because it maybe dog breeders gone, can't say bitch.
Well, so
you know what I'm saying? Like,
so furthering that even more, the idea that there's the seven deadly words that you can't say on broadcast TV, right? But YouTube, since their new CEO has come in, there's just like a line, right? Like shit is the same as whatever, one of those words. I don't know whatever the word is, but like there's no tier of curse words anymore. There's just bad words, and that gets your content flagged immediately, right? And this has all happened since the new CEO has come in. So I don't know. It's messy, man. It's messy, and once again, you see headlines once again like this, which on the surface you see this and you go, "What's wrong with Twitter?" Until you start doing a little bit of digging, right? And I always go back to do your own research. Do your own research. And as I'm doing my own research, as we talk about this, I'm trying to find a physical location here, right? Yeah. I can't find anything about this, about where they're actually at, where they actually are, their actual location is, or anything.
Did it say when they did this study, or when this, whatever this part of it they did? Did it say when this happened? Did I have a date on it, or
yeah,
something?
I can go back and take a look at it.
Well, I'm just curious because it makes me wonder if it all happened after Elon said that they were going into all this other social media, and you know how he said he wanted to make Twitter the Weibo or whatever of America. Makes me wonder if it didn't happen after that, meaning one of these other companies, oh, he's coming into our turf, let's give some money to this place. See what I'm saying? Make them look bad.
Yeah, and it's, the idea of like, here we go.
Because all this is PR assassination to me.
All right, Twitter failed to act despite the fact that the tweets surfaced by the center clearly violate the platform's policies against hateful conduct, which bans abuse based on race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Twitter's lack of responsibility for removing hate speech is unsurprising. Previous studies from the previous studies, which once again is not a comprehensive study, which they said, not anybody, but the exact same things, have looked at anti-Jewish and anti-Muslim hate on Twitter, finding that platforms have failed to act on 89 and 97% of posts, respectively. The research not only raises concerns that Twitter Blue users can get away with tweeting hateful content, but they can also benefit from algorithmic amplification as a result of their paid subscriptions. Like they have examples here, and they're using examples from April. Like they have these exact tweets, and these are. So,
how many tweets go out in a day?
Yeah, 500 million, right?
So how many go out in a year?
Right, exactly.
And they're giving examples back from 2021. So since 2021, on that date, how many tweets have went out?
Well, these are from. This is from May 3rd. This is from April 28th. This is from May 2nd, right? This is from April 30th, right? This is from April 28th, right? Like, and these are not cool at all, right? They're horrible. I get it, horrible. But the point
at least now people know those people are horrible.
Right, exactly. And I like that's the idea of it. So I don't know. It's this whole thing is messy, and you see headlines like that, and you go like, well, it frames things. Headline people only read headlines, and you see it and it frames things.
Yeah. They're trying to create a narrative, and this is what I mean by PR assassination. And people will probably take us out of context and say, oh, they're for racism. Look, but I can hate, like I said about everything. I can hate what there's, like we said about Nick Merckx. I mean, I can love what he's saying and not like him. I can hate what they're saying and still think this is wrong for them to make Twitter out to be this, evil thing that's letting. Really, if somebody at Twitter thought it was racist and physically saw it, you don't think they would remove something with Hitler?
You think so? But I'm sure that's their argument. It's why haven't they acted on it?
Because there's 6 billion tweets that went out since 2001. Why would you want to go through them one by one?
Henry Davis came back with another $50 donation. Blabs.
Balls. Big balls.
Says, I dig this open dialogue, all about some gaming, but this is good from time to time. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, it's all tied in. Like for me, this is a gaming and entertainment podcast, right? And I've said this from the start. We're going to talk about things that all tie in together, right? The entertainment. We talked about the Lando thing. That's entertainment. We talk about Twitter. That's where we get a lot of our entertainment. Like legitimately, the vast majority of our news comes from Twitter. So, we're going to talk about these things.
There are 450 million Twitter users. That's about the population of America. So if America can't police just protesters from saying hateful shit, how can Twitter?
Right. Oh, no way. Hold on. Breaking news. Jiggly saying Paul Rumens just died. What? this is actually breaking. This is a very big deal to me if this is the case. Paul Rubens. Really? Paul Rubens just died? Oh, that's so sad.
I've never seen Pee-wee.
You never seen Pee Wee Herman? He has died 7 minutes ago. Announced that he died at 70 years old after a private bout with cancer.
That's real
Mhm.
sad. You know,
So he has a good long life almost.
well, it makes me sad of what America did to him after he went to, he had one mistake, right? And then he's gone forever. Like, they ruined his career.
So it says he was 70 years old. Please accept my apology for not going public with what I've been facing the last 6 years, wrote Rubens in a statement posted to Instagram after his death. I've always felt a huge amount of love and respect from my fans, for my friends, fans, and supporters. I've loved you so much and enjoyed making art for you. Last night, we said farewell to Paul Rubens, an iconic American actor, comedian, writer, and producer whose beloved character, Pee Wee Herman, delighted generations of children and adults with positive whimsy and belief in the importance of kindness, Rubens' estate wrote in the caption. Paul bravely and privately fought cancer for years with his trademark tenacity and wit. A gifted and prolific talent, he will forever live in the comedy pantheon and in our hearts as a treasured friend and a man of remarkable character and generosity and spirits.
That's sad.
Sad.
With what he got in trouble for, he was watching an adult movie, a porno, in an adult theater where they play them. And as a person who worked at a place with those, that's what people do in them. Like, so it sounds to me like there was a cop in there trying to get people in trouble, or, because it says he exposed himself during a screening of a porn movie at a porn theater. Yeah, it's a porn theater. Like, and then after that, he never worked again.
Blabs, do you know anything about Pee Wee Herman?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Pee Wee Herman was a kids show from back in the day. It had ridiculous production value for like late 80s, early 90s. And Pee Wee Herman, it actually started as like a stage show in LA, and it got spawned off into a TV show for Saturday morning like cartoons, because back in the day, Saturday morning was when we'd wake up on the weekend and we'd watch cartoons for a couple hours. That was like a really big deal. Do you know what Saturday morning cartoons are, Blabs? Has they ever heard that phrase before?
Yeah. Okay, listen, I know who Pee Wee Herman is. Like, I've heard of him. I've just never watched any of this stuff before. The chat's like, you live under a rock.
Well,
to clarify, yes, I realize he did do projects after that, but he was one of the biggest names in the world when that happened.
Yeah, he had an iconic movie in the late 80s called Pee-wee's Big Adventure, where he went, and the long and short of it was he had this like bike that he loved and it was stolen, and he went on this crazy wacky adventure to save his bike. And that was one of the movies of my childhood for sure. But I wanted to show you this really quick, Blabs. This is kind of what made Pee-wee so fun. And this is a Pee-wee connecting the dots. This is pretty, and chat, sing along as you watch this.
Time to play with me.
Oh boy, yippee!
It was like Blue's Clues before Blue's Clues.
Right.
I never watched Blue's Clues either.
Here we go.
La 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 la, kick the nuts. La 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 la.
Information.
I don't even know what that was. That's funny though.
What?
It was obviously an edit cut, but I don't even know. That was the very tail end. I would cut that out, but that was.
I agree. But
So there was so much that went into these episodes of Pee-wee's Herman, of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Puppetry and all sorts of stuff. And there was the magic word, which was it was awesome, man. It was really, really good. So it's just a shame. Like, I think that's, for me, as I get older, people that I watched growing up are now dying, right? And that for me is like interesting to see. There's a generation of entertainers that I watch that are dying. So it's like, Blabs, who did you watch growing up? What kind of shows did you watch?
Arthur.
Before you,
As a kid.
I really think this was the first instance of media assassination, where literally the news assassinated his character so much and made something that he did out to be so horrid to the country that there was no question he wasn't going to work anymore.
Right. And there's
They
also
did it to Britney.
Yeah, right. So this, here's some let's see, here we go. Here's an article right here. This is from a few years ago. And this looks like it's an archive from back in the day. Yes. So
somebody said Eddie Murphy too, but he did huge movies after his controversy. So
this is the article from 1991, Blabs. And if you're a parent and you see this, tell me what you think. CBS cancels Pee-wee's Playhouse reruns after Paul Rubin's public masturbation arrest.
It wasn't public. It was a porno movie theater. That's not fucking public.
So
isn't a movie theater technically public though? But they made it so that it sounded like he was doing it in front of children. And
right, it's a place where they play X-rated videos. You're gonna see people fucking on screen.
Yep.
Okay.
No kids.
Oh my god, you saw a dick. Like that's what you're paying for.
Clicked.
So this is three days after Pee Wee Herman was arrested on charges he exposed himself in a porno movie house. CBS announced yesterday that it's canceling the remaining episodes of the kiddie show Pee Wee's Playhouse in light of current circumstances. A network spokesperson said the 5 remaining episodes will not be seen. So the show canceled in April because of poor ratings, had been on reruns at 11:30 a.m. every Saturday. So there you go. Yeah. And
as somebody points out in the chat, that's private property. Yes, it is. It's a private business. And not only that, they pay to go in the back and they pay to go in knowing they're going to see adult content.
Right.
There might be a dick.
Either way, it's just interesting to kind of see how this is all kind of, I don't know. Now this is the end of the Pee Wee Herman story, and I think that ultimately people from my generation will look back on Pee Wee very fondly.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sorry I'm getting so mad about it. It just bothers me that they would ruin, because after that, has anything ever came out bad about him after that? Not a fucking thing.
Well, dude,
but he was made out to be some evil deviant man because he went and watched a porno before the internet existed.
And as the Lonely Goomba says, it could also be the fact that a kid star was in a porno theater in the first place. To be fair, not really the image you want for your show, right? And I think that's probably the bigger thing, right?
Well, that's why they character assassinated him,
right? So,
but here's the thing: how did anybody ever find out he was in the theater? I swear to God, there was a cop in that theater that day, and that I would almost guarantee that cop went into that theater waiting for somebody to do that, to get them in trouble. Almost guaranteed.
Sure. And he goes, "Oh, I got Pee Wee. We got Pee Wee touching his pee.
We're gonna get him."
Right. All right. Let's go here. GK came in with the re-membership for 5 months. Says, "Is my phone company going to cancel my service if they believe I said anything quote unquote hateful?" Well, GK, welcome to China. And Danny also came in with the re-membership. Says, people have done worse than Pee Wee. I mean, it's an adult movie theater, and you expect that now, to happen? Shake my head. He shouldn't have been canceled, right? I think it was the optics for sure, but
it was PR assassination. 101.
Rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman, man. Tough to hear, and sad. So never, especially cancer, man. That's rough. That's rough. Let's move on. Let's go to our secrets. This was found by Travis. This is a video. I figured we can watch this and give this a go. We got about 15, 20 minutes left in the show, so we'll keep on rolling today. We may not even get to Barbie today. Who knows? But this video came out, and I figured this guy can tell us exactly what's going on. Thanks, QN Dizzy Gaming here for this. We'll stop and start as we go along.
Xbox's lawsuit with PlayStation just revealed 5 shocking details that may change the way you think of these companies. In today's court case, many high-profile executives at Xbox, PlayStation, and Bethesda were forced
Okay, he lost credibility because he said Bethesda. It should be Bethesda.
to reveal multiple trade secrets. Number 1, it was revealed that Starfield was originally planned to release exclusively on PlayStation. When Phil Spencer found this out, he decided to buy Bethesda and make it an Xbox exclusive.
That's a pretty baller move.
Yeah, that's insanity that he would just, well, we're going to buy the company.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
just the idea like, oh, yo, so you're going to do this? Nope, we'll just go and buy it.
That's that fucking Microsoft money for you. Shit.
Amazing stuff. All right, let's go to this next one.
Number 2, Sarah Bond from Xbox revealed that Activision CEO forced Microsoft to give them more money or they would make Call of Duty a PlayStation exclusive.
That's a very and as Lonely Goomba says, is any of this credible? Apparently, this is from the leaks from the FTC trial that's going on right now between for the merger of the Activision and Xbox companies.
Isn't that blackmail, by the way?
What's that? No,
Telling them you're
no,
not...
I don't think so.
Let's re-listen to what he said about that part.
Well, the thing about shorts.
3, Bethesda.
You can't
Think about
rewind
shorts.
it,
I can't go back.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: that's not blackmail. All it is negotiation of him saying like, "Look, we need more money. We need more money because if we don't, we're gonna be here, right?" The blackmail is we need more money, otherwise we're gonna tell this secret about you, right? But to me, that's just negotiation. So yeah, here we go. Let's continue.
Bethesda's Pete Hines revealed that Xbox canceled the development of PlayStation's version of Indiana Jones right after they were acquired by Microsoft. Number 4.
So they're going to make an Indiana Jones game, and it got shelved. So
Microsoft had internal discussions about making Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive if the deal goes through, but decided they wouldn't because they would lose too much money. Finally,
the idea that's exactly what Sony was saying. Sony was saying, hey, if they take away Call of Duty from us, then we're going to have issues, right? Then this isn't fair, right?
Right. It becomes a monopoly, basically.
Right. So,
and that was the argument against letting them buy all these other gaming, because how many have they purchased so far? It's a lot. You know what I mean?
Well, right. So I think that having that conversation makes a lot of sense, right? Hey, if we acquire them, is this an exclusive property now? These are conversations that naturally would be had,
It also makes me wonder, because it would never be a monopoly because Nintendo's there, but it makes me wonder if they would argue that Nintendo's not direct competition because their system's so different and they have so many exclusives.
Right. Well, they've already said that they're not competing with Nintendo. That's very, Nintendo's doing its own thing.
Right. And so that having that argument from a lawyer, I could see them saying, so really the only competition is PlayStation. So if they, if one company buys all these up, what is it? Let's
do this last one.
Number 5, court documents revealed that the Xbox 720 and PlayStation 6 are set to release in 2028.
Wow.
So there you go. That's actually pretty. That's the most interesting one. So that's 5 years from now. We have 5 more years of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series.
Insanity to me because they're still supporting the prior console, are they not?
I thought they were ending that soon, or they already were starting to end that.
The PlayStation 4 and such?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a PlayStation 4 here, and that's how I still play Apex. It's like my Apex machine.
Right. I would think they make too much money off the PlayStation 4 because more people own that than the.
No, it's because they won't stop producing stuff for it. Therefore, for people are going to be like, well, this is cheaper. I'll buy this.
Yeah, I guess
if you start producing it, they'll all go to the 5 and they'll get everything for the 5 with all the exclusives.
I guess they have to decide. So when is the right reason to do it? Because a lot of people get a bad taste in their mouth if you replace things too soon. They don't want to spend another $600 on a console. And if you do that, we learned that in the 90s, you come out with all these extra things and stuff, people will quit buying your console.
Yeah, I switched to PC. I don't bother with my Xbox really anymore.
I definitely see a day where gaming consoles outside of Nintendo go away. Definitely.
Well,
Except for,
and
like,
why haven't they
maybe even VR stuff?
Why haven't they taken a page out of Google's attempts to make a phone? So they made it all modular, like little squares. You can take the camera off when a new camera upgrade comes on and just push it in. You got yourself a new camera.
Mm-hmm.
They need to make these systems where you can just pull this little box out and there's your CPU, put a new one in, so that you don't have to buy new systems. You just buy the upgraded equipment.
Lonely Goomba says, I dropped off last gen, not even remotely interested. I think that you are, I think you're like the hardcore gamer is, there will always be hardcore gamers, but I don't know if the audience for a new console every 4, 5, 6 years is going to exist, especially with technology, right? Technology has advanced to a point where you can play games on your browser. You can play AAA games on your browser through cloud gaming right now. Why do I need to buy anything new?
I love that they're all saying that. It sounds like he's describing a PC. Yes, but with this design, with the modular console design, you wouldn't have to take your PC apart and add a part and risk ruining it or all that, okay? And you'd never have, there comes a point where, and with PCs, they're designed in a manner to make you buy certain things after a certain time. They could design an Xbox to where you don't have to do that and make it to where it's super easy. Just pull this out, put a new one in. You ain't got to take it apart. People buy consoles for the ease of them. That's why they don't buy PCs.
There is a lot of truth in that statement. There is a lot of truth in that. The idea that consoles are easy. You take this, you plug it in, and it works, right? You take this disc, plug it in, and yeah. I do.
If your CPU's outdated or your GPU's outdated, you press a little button on the side, pull that little box off, put a new one in. Easy peasy, you're done.
As Hal Baloney brings up, he says, but the Genesis was modular with the 32X and Sega CD. That's true.
Right,
That's
but
true.
they didn't work.
That's true. Well, I mean, they work. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about having modular devices. And when you are only working with an installed user base, you can only sell as many upgrades or modular devices as existing main consoles are out, right? And that's where things get confusing to people. Is if I'm a mom, I'm going to use the Genesis as an example. If I'm a mom and I have this Genesis video game system, and then you say, well, the new 32X is out, and all you need to do is plug it in to the Sega Genesis, right? And then you're at the store and you see Sega Genesis games and you see 32X games or whatever. That's where things start getting confusing. But I have this, but don't I have, like, I remember my parents buying me, I had a Super Nintendo and my parents bought me a Genesis game. They didn't understand the difference between,
I've had a few of those moments.
Right. So, I understand what you're saying in theory works, but in practicality, I think that it's too confusing for the average consumer, which
I think
goes against what you said initially.
For me, I think it's changed over time. I think more people understand technology now. You know what I'm saying? And if you make the system backwards compatible for prior games, it'll play those old games anyway. You see what I mean? So you don't have that, well, I bought this, you can't even play it type shit,
Right. As Goblins and Ghoul says, people couldn't even figure out the difference between the Wii and the Wii U. Well, that was just horrible branding.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it should have been named something.
The old KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Right? Keep it simple, stupid. That's it. Dude came in with the $5 Rumble rant, says, so the gaming companies care about money? That's surprising to me. # sarcasm. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. And he followed up with another 5. He says, the moment consoles go all digital is the moment I stop caring about consoles. Also, all the live services is getting annoying when they are all competing for my time and money. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. All right, let's go. Let's finish up real quick with just talking about the.
I just want to comment on that before
sure.
we go. I can't even play Banjo-Kazooie on my Switch unless I pay for that fucking Nintendo monthly bullshit. I just want to buy the fucking game. That's it. I just want to buy the game and play it, but I can't because they don't sell it.
Sorry, sucker. All right, let's talk about the box office this past weekend. So Barbie is like this cultural freak show, which is it's making so much money, both domestically and internationally. And the article from IGN, thank you IGN for this, is Barbie and Oppenheimer win the weekend box office again as they hold off Haunted Mansion. So Haunted Mansion was the new one. But Barbie is just too much of a juggernaut. Oppenheimer are too much. So Barbie took home 93 million. Oppenheimer took home 46 million each. And then Haunted Mansion came in with 24.2 million, which is incredibly low.
Well, in all fairness, who would want to watch a Haunted Mansion without like Eddie Murphy and all that?
But think of the star power they paid for in Haunted Mansion. There are so many fucking stars in that movie. It's amazing to me because they're gonna lose so much goddamn money.
What's interesting, and this is pointed out in the chat as well. Why did they release Haunted Mansion in July? Right? Shouldn't you release that
in October?
Right, like September, like late September, early October, and like let the mood get on that. The thing about my buddies over at Clownfish TV, Neon actually he saw the movie, and he saw Haunted Mansion. He's like, it's actually a really good, like traditional Disney movie. It's actually really fun. And he's just as critical about all the other insanity that's happening in movies and such, but he's like, it's about as traditional a Disney movie as you're going to get. And he said he really enjoyed it, but he's like, they put that opinion out there and people like crucified them for it. Right. So people obviously, and I think that says a lot about the Disney brand, right? How vocal people are about the Disney brand right now. But I think, I trust Neon's word. And if Neon says it's a pretty good movie, I'll need to go check it out. As far as Barbie and Oppenheimer go, oh yes, Trev.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
I think the reason it didn't go so well for Haunted Mansion is one, it was basically right when the strike happened, so there was no one at the premiere, there was no marketing for it, none of the actors were promoting it, so that also factors into no one really hyped up for it.
Also, think of the free promotion Barbie and Oppenheimer have gotten just by their names alone. Like, and you're
going in pink, then changing to go at night, in black and everything, all the memes, yeah.
So they could have paid $250 million to promote this movie, and it still wouldn't get as much promotion for free that these other movies have got.
Yeah,
they really should have done it some other time, like Halloween.
Well, I bet you what happened is they had to fill a slot, right? They didn't have a movie.
Yeah, because there's so many Marvel delays.
They didn't have a movie coming out.
So Barbie has reached a total of $351 million in America by itself. $351 million globally, over double that, $774 million. While Oppenheimer has brought in $400 million worldwide. So it says Haunted Mansion was $150 million produced. That'll lose money as well. I mean, you got to make half your money back on opening weekend if you're gonna get there. So 33 million, that's woof. That's a woof. That's a big woof. The fourth place movie was The Sound of Freedom again, which is fascinating because that movie was at 15 million to produce and it's made 10 times its budget. I mean, talk about a ridiculous success. And Mission Impossible came in with over almost 11 million, earning. This is interesting. Mission Impossible, I say only has made 448 million worldwide.
Barbie, the company that Mattel? Yeah, Mattel has made $1 billion off of selling Barbies just in the second quarter of this year.
They've made how much?
$1 billion.
You gotta do it with the finger and everything, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like
there
it.
you go.
As Lonely Goomba points out in the chat, that the Sound of Freedom is only released in America. So
Which
it's made
is crazy.
$150 million in America by itself.
I
And
still don't understand why this movie people won't show. Like, I just don't get it.
I haven't seen it. I've heard all about it. I heard it's like a really important movie to see, and it puts things in perspective. But
Even if
I
you
mean,
disagree with some of the shit said, so what? It's just like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I don't know. Sound of Freedom says, or Sound of Freedom might overtake India at the domestic box office. Which, man, that would be
Dang.
just the saddest.
Is it such a threat to people's like existential existence that, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand.
I will say this, man. And this is the most baseline thing you could possibly say ever. If people didn't think with their dicks, the world would be a much better place. And that's really what it
Thank
comes
you.
down to. You know, that's really what it comes down to.
Or their tits?
Well, I mean,
Behave yourselves. There.
Yeah.
We're okay. We're all online now.
there you go, Blabs. There you go. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at. I think that if that's you go back to many of our stories today, that's where it would be, man. If we just didn't think with our dicks, we'd be all right. And it always comes back to the poo nanny, doesn't it? It always comes back to the poo nanny. Always. Charlie says some people are afraid of that movie. Yeah, the Sound of Freedom for sure. It's crazy. Nice. All right. You see, some houses saw Sound of Freedom in Canada. Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm pretty sure it's going internationally now. It's going around.
Good. There you go. Mogwai guy says stop thinking with your BBC. There you go. Right, Blaz, which means
Big British chicken.
Mm-hmm. Diana came in with the $1 Rumble Rant. Says Travis, get a 64 to play banjo and Tui. I will never get rid of my 64. There you go, Diana. Love that.
I sold mine last year for $200.
There you go. And finally, we have the historian coming in. Says I would be the first to sign up for a Blabs only fan. Well, we do have a Blabs only Blabs T-shirt coming soon, which maybe you can support Blabs that way coming soon. So we have also Extra Zero coming in with the $4.99 super chat. It says I think Haunted Mansion would have done better in October. Aside from overspending, a major problem is timing releases and rushing them to digital. Yes. Get them on that Disney Plus. We got to start making that money. That's crazy. All right. You guys got anything before we wrap?
Memes.
Memes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Extra Zero will have my head.
Yes. Get her. All right, let's pull these up over here. Quick reminder before we go, we do have a new channel for our gameplay stuff. Everything in the afternoon. I want to make sure we hit that up. Where are you? Where'd you go? Oh, it's called Side Scrollers Plays. You guys head on over there. Make sure you guys subscribe to it. It's right there over on YouTube. Go and do that. We really appreciate it. YouTube.com/@SideScrollersPlays. This is the last week that we will be doing all of our gaming stuff over here on this channel. So I encourage you guys to go over there and subscribe because that's where you'll be able to find it afterwards. So, all right, this one from Superman, aka @NoGreenRocks. Poor Blabs. Well, you get that feeling in your mouth, right? That taste in your mouth, and you're like, oh no, it's coming. And I take off my hat, and I'm like, oh, here it comes.
Oh,
and
no!
I throw up. You notice I'm not wearing my burgundy hat with the RR on it. That's the Frisco Rough Riders hat. It's because I yacked in it on the way to summer camp.
Stop it. I'm going to be sick. Legit. You can't do this. Mm-mm.
I took off my hat.
No.
All right.
May I say,
We got a lot to talk about today.
We move on.
Hell yeah!
may I say, if you start that over and look at my face and you said, when you have that taste in your mouth and you feel it coming, I did not make a joke about that. And I sat there for that entire time
I was wondering if you
Thinking-
were going to say something about
thinking, I want to make this joke.
Craig
Watch,
wouldn't know.
watch my face.
Well, you get that feeling in your mouth, right? That taste in your mouth, and you're like, oh no, it's coming. And
Mhm.
I take off my hat. All right, nice. Well, thank you. That's good. Thank you, No Green Rocks. Also, this one from No Green Rocks right here says, "Is the Willy Wonka remake? Really? It is the remake that they really want. Here we go.
Oompa, loompa, doompa-dee-da. If you're not greedy, you will go far.
Look at the multiple blabs. That's good right there.
There's multiple Craigs up there. Look at that.
They're all hanging out, and multiple Trav as well.
You will live in happiness too.
There you go. I love it. Love it.
I love the face that blast.
I don't even know how to make
Why
that
the
face.
fuck are we doing this?
Yeah, this one from Action Zero says, "What made Craig barf?" Yeah, a cup of noodles slurp everywhere.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that behind you?
Looks
Oh, I
like
don't
freaking Hobbit, Bilbo Baggins, Martin, whatever his name is.
Then we got this one here from Extra Zero. It says, as requested, here's Salty Trav.
He even spelled my name right.
That's right. The keys to saltiness.
saltiness.
Love that. Oh no. Blab's adventure in using Google. I recognize you from when I Googled the BBC.
Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Oh boy. Then we got this one from Metastep. Thank you so much. Says,
I wish we would have told her to Google images.
No.
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 And then we have this one right here.
What's it supposed to mean?
So I want Blabs to Google this one.
Should I go in private mode for this? I did. Okay. Define BBC. British Broadcasting Corporation. No way! Does it actually mean big black? No! No way! Look at Travis. Wow, the more you know.
Right.
I was thinking of something backdoor or something. I don't know.
Oh, you're so sweet, Blabs.
There is also another definition for it too.
What's the other definition, Trav? Go ahead.
Bareback.
Nice. Love it. There you go.
I love the logo Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern.
Go watch.
You know, out of all of us, my search history as for working here is much cleaner than both of yours, and I love that.
Listen, I was on private mode just now.
You see, I don't need to Google these things.
They'll still track you. Absolutely.
I'm just a little summer child, okay?
All right. Hal came in. Look at this with the $5 Canadian super chat. Says Barbie also had a promotional song via Aqua back in the 90s. Talk about pre-planning. That's right. I'm a Barbie girl.
It makes me wonder if I think it was Mattel who owned them the whole time. And it makes me wonder if Mattel had to license them to do that.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Or if the term Barbie is like a colloquial term now. Like Band-Aid used to be a brand, but everybody started saying Band-Aid. So now anybody
like Kleenex and tissue. Yeah.
Right. So now anybody can use the term Band-Aid on their packaging because it means the bandage, but it used to be a brand name.
Nice. That's true. Hey, want to give you guys a heads up. Once again, please head over and subscribe to the new Side Scrollers Plays channel. Once again, we're going to be streaming on both this channel and the Side Scrollers Plays channel today for when we return to Mario Galaxy, which should be fun. Also want to give you guys a heads up about some upcoming guests we have. Tomorrow, we will have Shagsworth. On Wednesday, we will have Flawed and our boy Adam. On Thursday, we will have the Star Wars panel, the Star Wars roundtable. Looking forward to that with a slew of amazing guests. Friday, Dan Vask will be joining us. Monday, looks like Desiree's coming back. Yeah, I love that. And You, Me, and the Movies next Tuesday. And check this out. This is this one may break the internet. Next Thursday, just in time for his newly relaunched fight, we will have Alex Stein on the program to interview one-on-one. I want to talk to Alex Stein. I want to learn about Alex Stein. I want to learn about why people hate him. I want to learn about him as a youth. I want to learn about his background. I want to get to know Alex Stein, not the high level viral Alex Stein. I want to dig in deep. So there you go. Prime time.
Well, I'll share a little tidbit with you. One of the last times I texted him, I asked him to rate someone's butt. Who did I ask?
Was it mine?
No, it was not yours.
Oh, okay.
I think I asked him to rate I asked him to rate Latina booties. And so sometimes he'll respond and he'll tell me what he thinks.
That's good.
See.
Well,
I can't find it anymore. But you know what? He just ask him to rate big booty Latinas. And he'll rate the booties for you.
We'll see how this goes. I'm looking forward to it next Thursday. So look, we got a lot of great folks coming up. Really looking forward to it. With all that said, we'll be back here. I'll be back in 30 to 45 minutes as we resume our journey in Mario Galaxy. Look, there will be ways to mess with me. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Very, very shortly, 30 to 45 minutes. Travis, have a great day, buddy. Good job. Also, heads up. No Green Rocks is going to do is going to be attempting to slice together clips. So he's going to take the time codes, Trav, and use those as opportunities.
Awesome.
So, all right, with that said, guys, have a great day. Go follow Blabs over on Kick and do our e-thought watch and all that stuff. I'll find you guys shortly. Have a great day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys later. Bye.